Hello everyone, yet FPV here, back with another video, and this time I'm going to talk about this before you buy an FPV drone. Now, I recently posted a video of my footages that came out from this FPV drone, and I get a lot of questions on how much is this FPV drone and what are the things they need in order for them to start an FPV drone. So I figured making a video explaining the things or the equipments that you will need and how much it will cost. Also, what are my recommendations on how you will start flying FPV. So these are the things that you will need. First, you will need an FPV goggles. Second, you will need a radio controller. Third, you will need batteries. And fourth, you will need a battery charger. Fifth, you will need a drone, so the drone itself. And sixth, you will need a laptop. So yeah, that's the main 6 things that you will need. But the first thing, let's talk about the goggles. So for the FPV goggles, there's 2 options that you can choose from, which is the DJI HD goggles. These goggles cost around 500 to around 580 US dollars, and it depends whether you want it brand new or second hand. And there's also another option, which is the analog version or the classic analog Fat Shark or Orca, and there's a lot of options out there, and the price of that and this is close, like around $600. So probably you will go to this goggles right here, the DJI HD goggles, which is the very new HD system from DJI. The second thing that you will need is a radio controller. Now this radio controller is the TBS Tango 2 Pro. This cost around 200 USD, 199 to be exact. Now, there's a lot of radio controller options out there, but I mainly use this because it has a long range module receiver inside. And this is a personal thing on why I used or picked this. This is for like reliability, and also this is an investment, and all of my drones are connected in one goggles and one radio controller. So if you're planning on getting in a radio controller, I suggest you getting a long range reliable radio controller like this, or other option, which is the multi-protocol, which is have like the module bay behind, like the Radio Master, FR Sky, something like that. And radio controller cost around 100 to 300 US dollars. The third one that we're going to talk about is batteries. Now, I have the batteries here. These small ones, these are 4-cell 520 milliamp hour batteries. This is the one that I used for my CINEWHOOP, the FPV drone that I used for my recent video. These are the batteries that I used for that. And for the goggles battery, I use this 1600 milliamp hour 4-cell battery. And I also have a lithium-ion battery that I made to make it last longer. And you can buy one. There's a lot of like shops out there that's selling. I'm gonna list it later. So for the batteries, it costs around $20 to $30. The small ones cost around $13, more or less. For the batteries, you will need around 5 to 10 batteries, so $13 each. So consider that one battery will last around 3 to 5 minutes. For the CINEWHOOP, depends on your flying as well. So if you're flying aggressive, it will of course last you around 3 minutes, but if you're just cruising around, it will last you around 5 minutes. The next thing that I'm going to talk about that you will need is a battery charger. Of course, you will need that. And the battery charger that I'm using is the HTRC Duo. It costs around 60 to around $80, not 800. 60 to $80, and it's a 2-port battery charger, so you can charge 2 batteries side by side, and you can charge between 2 cell to 6 cell batteries at the same time. It is a touchscreen battery charger, so it's reliable and easy to use. I have been using it for almost 2 years now actually. And the next thing is the drone itself. So for the WINGSUIT S, this is the WINGSUIT S. It is a 2.5-inch propeller, ducted CINEWHOOP. Actually, this is just a propeller guard, mainly for protection. It doesn't really act as a ducts, because ducts acts a different way. But yeah, this flies really well, and I love this CINEWHOOP. I've been like flying this for almost I don't know how long already, but I love this. It flies so good. And this thing cost around $200 to $300, depends on what kind of quad you are going to pick. This is a DJI, so it costs 299 USD. And the next thing that you will need is a action camera. So this specific drone can carry a GoPro Hero 8 naked. What I mean by naked is the stripped down version of the GoPro. So right now it has the GoPro Hero 8 naked. I also have the naked GoPro Hero 6 at the side. So, and you can also use Insta360 Go2, which is, I also use it before, but I prefer using the GoPro Hero 8 for this, because I pair it with the Real Steady, which is another software that you might consider on buying if you don't want to use Hypersmooth. So yeah, this drone cost around 299, and then the GoPro cost around, the normal price, which is 400 to around 500. The Gap RC are selling naked GoPro, fully naked with the case and ND filter on, around 450 USD. So you can, buy that as well if you don't want to strip down your own GoPro, because this is powered using the flight controller from this drone. Or you might as well buy the Insta360 Go2. Of course, the last thing that you will need is the laptop or your computer. The reason why you will need your computer is because you will need to activate your DJI Air unit, which is the one that is connected to your goggles. So you will need to activate that first. The next thing is your drone itself. You will need to configure your drone. For example, you will need to configure your switch to your radio controller. So you will need to set this stick using your computer. So there's like a little programming thing going on right here, but everything is on YouTube. You can follow a lot of steps on YouTube. So just to give you an inspiration or idea, I have no experience whatsoever. I have zero knowledge about electronics, about building stuff, about tools. I have zero knowledge 2 years ago, but now I've built a lot of drones already. So if I can create something out of nothing, of course you can, and you will, if you believe in yourself. So don't stop because your doubts are stopping you. Just follow what you really wanted. I'm pretty sure you can do it, because I did. And if I can, you will, and you can. And I believe in that. So yeah, don't stop. Yeah, so I covered most of the things that you will need before you can even fly. But the important thing, which is my recommendation, is the first thing that you will need to buy is a radio controller. So forget all of the things first. Buy the radio controller first. Alright, that's the first thing that I will recommend you buying, because the reason why, once you buy the radio controller, you can connect it to your computer and use a simulator, which is like a game. You're like controlling the drone itself, but on a simulator. So how you will maneuver is the same on the drone in real life. So it will just help you muscle memory everything. The turns, the twist, the rolls, the yaw, the throttle, where you're going, how you are going to fly the drone. That's where you're going to practice. That way it will save you a lot of money on like crashing the real drone, if you plan on like buying the drone and then fly it straight away without practicing on simulator. Of course, you will crash it and break it. But if you practice on simulator, it will give you an idea on how to control the drone itself, which is really, really helpful, because I did that and I'm really grateful that I have done that. Now it's helping me a lot, even trying a new tricks. I still do that, and before I fly, I still do that. So I highly recommend you to buy the radio controller that you want first, and then connect it to your computer and play simulator. And that way it will save you a lot of money, like really, to be honest. Now, so I covered everything and my recommendation. Now I'm going to tell you where you can buy all the stuff. Now there's a lot of stores out there in the internet. You can search for Pyro Drone, Get FPV, Rotor Riot, Race Day Quads, Team Black Sheep. What else? There's a lot. And in the Philippines, there's also JC FPV, Jonazona, Pinoy FPV, and there's a lot more. And yeah, so I covered everything mostly, but I'll list some of the things that I can list in the captions or in the description so that you can check them out. And thank you guys for watching and supporting me. And before you go, I want to announce something. I collaborated with Malex FPV, the sponsor of the motors.
Yes.
Who's gonna get this lucky
Winner.
build? Yeah. And we are going to give away something to you guys. He sponsored a T-Motor Velox, which is this one right here. This is a T-Motor Velox 2306.5 2550 kV motors in Glory Gold Black Edition, which is a really good motors right here. 4 of this. All right, so stay tuned. What giveaway is it gonna be? So I'm really excited for you to like know what is it, because I'm going to make a video of it as well. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Make sure you follow.